18,000 is the bare minimum. Skincare goes up to 60,000. There are people who use that much. But when I put up that tweet, I didn't intend for it to go the downhill side, because it was just a normal banter. So when now I realize that these guys are trying to mix this up, they don't know what skincare is, they don't know what makeup is. So they were bullying me, saying, you can't be using makeup worth 18,000 Kenya shillings per month and you still look the way you look. First of all, on Twitter, if you do not meet others' beauty standards, takapitia.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another informative and exciting episode of Digital Data Podcast. I'm your host, Cecilia Maundu, a broadcast journalist and digital security trainer. I work at the intersection of technology, human rights, and journalism with a focus on countering online abuse against female journalists. This episode has been made possible by Policy. Policy is a feminist collective of technologists, data scientists, creatives, and academics working at the intersection of data, design, technology to craft a better life experiences by harnessing improved data. Please check out their website. Policy also has done a lot of work on the issue of tech-facilitated gender-based violence and a lot of advocacy work, a lot of research. Please check out their website. So today, my guest is an early bird, and she will tell you why she's an early bird. And we are so privileged to have her in the show. Welcome to the show.
Asante sana.
Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Ann Odida. I'm a journalist at TV47. I always wonder whether to say I'm a journalist with TV47. I'm a journalist at TV47, but potato.
Tomato.
Yes, tomato. So any works. But I think I'm 1 year old at TV47, and the experience has been so good. Initially, I wasn't an early bird, but now that you've mentioned it, I think I should just highlight that. Now I'm an early bird because I host the morning show alongside my very amazing co-host, that is Fred Indimuli. I call him he's a superstar in my eye.
Yeah,
so,
for sure he is.
Yeah. So I do the morning show every Monday to Friday. Before that, I used to do the primetime news on Sunday, that is the weekend edition. It's called a show called To The Point. It was very insightful. And that is where whatever we're going to talk about today, it started there before now I transitioned to the morning show.
First of all, I mean, it's midday. Yeah. You look so fresh. You woke up at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So you are literally you are the
bird.
poster child
Yes.
for being an early bird. I give it to you because I'm not part of the 5 a.m. club.
Really?
Yes.
Sisi tunaamka kuchukua worms kama mnalala. And I call these guys who still sleep at 5 a.m. Tunaanza show 6. By 5 you're already in studio. Any failure. And I might say that they will come at me again.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not scared of trolls here. So please share your personal experience as somebody who has been violated online, especially in the work that you do as a journalist, a female journalist.
Yeah. I think I remember the date because I think it was around my birthday-ish there. 30th November, I did post something on X and said that, my skincare this month has costed 18,000 Kenyan shillings. Alafu, utapata mtu anakuja na kushika uso na mkono imeparara. We are fighting on site. That was the tweet, exactly how I've said it. So, of course, Twitter, you just banter, as always. For me, Twitter is not something that I take those tweets to heart, per se. So when I put up that tweet, I went about my day. I was, actually, it was a weekend. 30th November, I think it was a Saturday or Friday there-ish. So, apparently, ika skuma some nerves.
Touched on some nerves.
Sasa, nilikuwa nashanga, I'm having a lot of notifications. And I'm very, very loud on X. If you're on X, you probably know who I am. So, after I put up that tweet, nashanga, my notifications are so many today. So when I'm going through them, now, how can you be using 18,000 Kenyan shillings on makeup and you still look average? To me, you're a 2. To me, you're... And first of all, where they were getting it wrong was the fact that they were saying you're using 18,000 Kenyan shillings on makeup. Nobody said makeup. I said skincare. So what I came to realize that some of the men, sana online, they don't really realize that there's a difference between makeup and skincare. And just to highlight my understanding of that is that skincare, sana ni kutreat to pimples, to acne. Hata sahi, I know kuna zingine zimenitembelea.
And it's truly so expensive.
Yeah.
I so agree with you because I have an acne problem.
Yeah.
Let's not get-
18,000
yes.
is the bare minimum. Skincare goes up to at 60,000. There are people who use that much. But you know, when I put up that tweet, I didn't intend for it to go the downhill side, you know, because it was just a normal banter. So when now I realize that these guys are trying to mix this up, they don't know what skincare is, they don't know what makeup is. So they were bullying me, saying, you can't be using makeup worth 18,000 Kenya shillings per month and you still look the way you look. You know, first of all, on Twitter, if you do not meet others' beauty standards, where? Takapitia.
Yeah, and you see that is the problem because a lot of people, when it comes to that tweet you're talking about skincare, it took such a different turn.
Let me now tell you where it took a turn. You know, sasa the way they were coming at me first, the following day, the tweets were now many. So I was telling guys, wacha mtu atumie pesa yake, penye anataka. And now this notion that they've also put on women in media, that we have a lot of sponsors, sana those of us ambao tuko kwa screens. Oh, you have your audience who don't speak Swahili?
No. I mean,
We can mix.
You can mix. Yes.
Sawa,
We'll
thank you.
try and translate.
Yeah, all right. So, what was I saying?
You're talking about women who are on screen.
Yes,
in
women
media.
were on screen, you know. So I think when I was being bullied at that time, and then I said that broke men have issues, you know. How can you wake up angry that somebody else is using 18,000 Kenyan shillings on their skincare? So that is what triggered them, that I said, broke men have issues. Sasa hapo ndo nikaongeza kuni.
You
know. Nikaendelea kuongeza kuni. Now that one escalated this situation, nearly trend for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, Anne, do you think also it's because you're in front of the screen?
Absolutely.
Like, maybe if someone like me who had gone there and said, oh, skincare is very expensive, I'm sure I would not even get to
Yes.
it. Yes.
I know it's something that people are waiting for. Because maybe walikuwa na msichana anakwanga so peaceful hapa on X. She's loud, anakwanga na very, very strong responses, but no one is attacking her. Now this is the time to mempata. So I think it's something that they've been waiting for, but now that time they got a chance. Because I think it was mostly also because I'm an on-air personality.
Of course.
Because, you know, I had comments like, kwani how the selection of how anchors should look changed. Because, you know, they were saying that, oh, you're not too beautiful to be on air, you know, things like that. It's not about beauty, being an anchor. If it was about beauty, tungekuwa tunaona nonsense on screen, you know. That is what I would say. It's about what you have up here. So I think also about our background. We have a very, very big studio at TV47. A lot of colors in that studio. It's very, very beautiful, by the way. So there's like a video that I did. I was passing at one of the studios. It's painted red. And now they were bullying that studio as well. They were dragging that studio saying, ule msichana anafanya kazi kwa butchery, you know. Because now
So it went from you
Yeah.
to the
to the
studios
station.
of where
Yes.
you work.
So it skyrockets too. And then they're saying, oh, she's calling men broke and she doesn't even have a bum bum. A lot was said. And to me, it was funny. I was just lying in bed laughing. I'm like, what's the fuss about? It's never that serious. So I think mostly I got that feedback because like they don't expect me to be on screen. You know, societal expectations about how a news anchor should look. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Okay. I'm a millennial.
Okay.
So when we were growing up, there is this expectation of this person who was supposed to be in front of the screen.
Yeah.
But now we are living, I would say we are living in very different times.
Yeah.
Things have changed. It's, as you say, it's about what you have up here
Yes.
and how you can execute and give out that information, you know. But I still feel like of that notion is still there.
It is.
And I would want to know from your perspective, is it because of the issue of patriarchy or maybe just the unachieved standards that women over the generation have been made to, you must achieve this so that we can say you are this way. And then after you achieve this, it's never good enough.
Yeah, you know, I think there are very amazing women in media right now who
Very.
how do they say, they walked or the rain so that we could crawl.
Yes.
So I feel like it's, Kitambo, we had very light-skinned ladies on screen.
And
We
that
used to
was the
have,
acceptable.
yes,
Yeah.
the beauty standard at then. So I think that is what people are sort of working with, the way people used to look Kitambo, light-skinned, a bit plump, because, I'm very small. When people meet me physically, they get so shocked. Yeah, why do you look so big on screen? But I'm very, very small in real life. So I think it's about the beauty standards that society kept Kitambo, but that is now changing because we see a lot of very, very beautiful dark-skinned journalists. They look so nice. The light skins are also looking so nice. They are there, but now kuna sort of, how do we put it?
I think
There's a balance.
we are moving from the issue of colorism now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of that is how we'll put it. A lot of colorism had plagued the media industry. As a man, you need to look some type of way, you need to sound some type of way. But again, it's not about the voice, it's not about the looks. It's about what you have here, because there's so much that goes on to hosting shows, conducting interviews, than just looking cute there, looking like a flower. That beauty is a plus. Yes, I don't think anyone can be put on screen if they don't look appealing enough. So, yeah.
And I also feel like beauty is relative because
Yes.
everyone is beautiful.
Yes.
Like everyone is beautiful. And I always feel like if we hold every person, and that's why young girls are really trying, especially in this era of social media, to be a certain type
Yes.
of way because the standard, the society has set this standard, this is beauty, this is no, it's neither here
It doesn't
neither there.
matter.
Yes.
It's never that serious.
So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'm sorry about what you went through. So as someone who works in the media, how do you think the issue of tech-facilitated gender-based violence is often portrayed, and how can journalists improve their coverage of this issue? Because it's very underrepresented in mainstream media.
It is. It is because I think we don't talk much about it as well. And, I'm wondering why we don't. Even interviews, I was expecting that after my bullying experience that we would maybe have an interview about that and just try and address it. But to me, it sounded like giving the bullies power now to say, because that same day I saw a comment that said, today TV47 is going to have an interview about online bullying. And I said, I'm not going to give anyone that power, because now you think, oh, you're giving us content now to talk about Umetuleta Chini. But what I think is just regulations, to be put online about just to protect women from being bullied online. I won't want to dismiss that men are also being bullied, but women are being bullied.
Of course.
Yes.
They are. But the men is different. They are bullied for what they have said.
Yes.
Women, it becomes gendered and sexist because how did it move from skincare regime
to bam bam?
To yes, to how to your size? Yes.
Yeah, so I would only say that we should regulate. I don't know if we should regulate Twitter. We've talked about it. I've seen politicians propose such things, but I don't know if it's something that can actually work. So as mainstream media, I just think we should be amplifying like you're doing now. You see, you have this show where you're talking to women who've been bullied, and I think you're trying to amplify it. And I believe that the essence of this conversation is to try and bring an end to it and to also help those who are going through it. So I think these conversations, such conversations that we're having today, are helping.
So let's talk about support, because we always say like online violence is very, first of all, silencing and very isolating. When you're going through it, you're literally alone. So what kind of support did you receive, and what would be advised? And we're talking about support even from your family, from your colleagues who are online, and also from your employer, because we are also trying to open the eyes of these employers. We need policies that are able to protect these journalists who are going through online violence.
Yes. From work, let me start with work. I think the first day, because it was so bad, so bad. My boss called me because it was a weekend and I was home, and he told me, am I allowed to say his name? My boss?
It is you to decide.
All right. Okay, my boss called me, the head of TV, and he asked me, Odida, how are you? I'm doing fine. Ati, you're being bullied. I said, well, yeah. Ati, who is bullying you? I said, people online. Do you know them? I said, no. Sawa, don't respond. We'll talk about it on Monday. Yeah. And I didn't respond. I think nilikuwa na washwa sana, because I'm always one to get back. Hey, you said I look like a cockroach? I drag you with your entire family there. You look like
You
what?
come for me, I come
Yes,
for
you
you.
come, I come for you. So I think also that is why they're also bullying, because
Exactly.
they're saying that, oh, huyu amekuwa strong sana, now tumepata where now to hit. So I think when my boss called me, nikaona hapa, I need to relax. And also my former boss, where I used to work before I joined TV47, he also called me to try and find out how I was doing. But I was doing so well, you know. But from family side, my sisters, they don't use X often. But do you know that day they logged into X with their 1 follower, 2 followers account just to defend me? But they were dragged, let me tell you. They were dragged. So I had to tell them, you know, I know Twitter. I know how Twitter works. You cannot defend me as much as I can defend myself. I'm the only one who can defend myself. But if you now come in, the whole family will be dragged. So just refrain, just take it easy. I've got this. So I think I got enough support that I needed, my partner as well. So yeah, I was supported. Actually, I think that is why I also didn't feel a lot of weight or any weight at all. Because when I went to work that Monday, you know, people are asking me, are you okay? Are you okay? I was okay. I was okay. It didn't affect me in any way because I know that people are crazy online. Sometimes I'm also crazy online. So I know, heck, mimi mwenda wazimu kama nyinyi. But today, wacha niwache take that space and just shine with it. It's my day.
And I'm glad to hear that because we keep hammering support. I interviewed a human rights defender the other day, and she was saying support is very key.
Yeah.
Because the more somebody goes through it alone, the more isolating, the more they feel so down. Some people, and we always say, like, choose what works for you. If you want to log out of X for a few days, if you feel like you don't want to be in the space, you know, although we don't encourage, because we say when you leave the space, the trolls have won.
Don't
because the
leave.
agenda is one, to silence these women.
Yes.
So if you leave, they're like, oh, I mean, she left, okay.
Yes.
So we always say, do what works for you at that time. But also, because we are journalists, we cannot afford to be offline
Yes.
at all costs.
We can't.
Because in this era we are living in. Anyway, so what advice do you have for others, women like you who've gone through online violence?
Yeah. You know, if you let social media tell you who you are, they will. If they tell you you look like a cockroach, you will look like a cockroach if you believe it. So I think for me, if you know your identity in Christ, please, no one can tell you anything that is out of God's will for you and you believe it. So just know who you are, first of all. Just like you've said, don't log out of X. Face it. You know, I feel like the more you face it, the more you know how to handle it. Because bullying will never stop. As much as we are fighting for it, we're championing for it to stop, it will never stop. As long as I know, for me, the fact that I'm on the limelight, I'm an on-air personality, I'm on air every day, I should be expecting anything at any time. So what I would say is just know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, social media will tell you who you are and you believe them. Yes.
And also, we always say, as a journalist, you know your capabilities.
Yes.
They didn't just pick you from nowhere to be on screen to do the morning show.
You know, that's the thing.
So they believe in you. There's something you're bringing to the table. So if you have that in mind, even when somebody says, oh, you are such a poor interviewer, I watched the other day, she doesn't even have content. It is you to know who you are as a person. So as we come to the tail end of this conversation, what role do you believe tech companies should play in mitigating this kind of violence that you are going through?
I think I would love to say filter such comments, or maybe just is it block or
Block,
bar
yes.
bar such accounts from accessing the online streets? Because now if you don't do such a thing, let's say if they're reported and those accounts keep coming back, they're going to bully others. So how will this ever stop? Because you know these bullies are also it's also just a reflection of who they are. It's not about the other person. So I would say just block them, you know, or just restrict their accounts from online. I think that is the main thing that these tech companies could help with. Because what else can they do, really? If to sound a warning to them, but a warning would be to restrict and to block. Yeah.
Yeah. And in your opinion,
Yeah.
this is very subjective, not objective. What are the most important steps we can take as a society and a digital community to prevent tech-facilitated gender-based violence?
Yeah.
Even me who didn't know Anne, what is my role when I see a woman like you going through such kind of harassment?
I think it's more of creating more awareness, talking to these women, especially just organizing things for women. If you're in the limelight, bullying will be there. So I think just organizing small conferences. I know we have them sometimes, but also one that is aimed at addressing online bullying to tell you how to deal with it because you can't escape it. I really believe as much as you're trying to eradicate it, it's so hard. So I think we should come up with conferences just to help women create awareness, teach them how to handle it. Yes, not to log out, never log out. Those guys have no power over you. So yeah, that's what I would say about it, really.
And also, how can media organization play a more active role
Yeah.
in preventing such kind of violence, especially taking proactive measures? You who works for a national television, what are some of the things that people should be doing?
The organization medias. Well, could I say counseling?
They should be offering counseling. Yes, because that is also part of mental
Yeah,
support.
yes.
Because I also was meant to ask you, did you receive any mental support? And let me tell you something. Therapy is still you know, I see online people talking about therapy, but it is still taken as a luxury,
Yes.
a preserve for the few.
Yeah.
But now that you're talking about counseling, it's very key.
It
So
is.
what are apart from counseling, what else? And also, do you know some people believe when I'm going to therapy, there's something very, very wrong,
Yeah.
Like, yes. So tell us more.
Just like I've said, counseling to start with, talking to these, let's say the one who's being bullied, this employee of yours, giving them some time to rest at home, if that is possible, to just help them, internalize everything that is happening and going easy on them. There are some I know there are some companies, if women are bullied, they go back and to track, what are you saying? How is your activity online? To try and just also be against you. But I think I'm so lucky that I work in a company that I think that was not an issue. I don't think my company where I work could have had an issue with it really because they didn't address it. But just to support these women, mpe to time akae home arrest. I think that is what I would say, aside from counseling and, of course, therapy, if there is, talk to them, usicheke, because, people are laughing at me as well.
And
They found it funny.
They found it funny. And then
Yeah.
sometimes, let me say, some people would feel like, it's something that is going to just pass.
Yeah.
But sometimes it stays in you
Yeah.
for so long. We all internalize things differently.
Because, not everyone is like me. I have tough skin.
Oh my
so
God,
for the
which
women,
is very expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So for the women who are not like me, I think it's just to bring them close as a company. Ask them how they want to be helped, because I think assuming that this would work for them is also not helping them at all. Just talking to them and trying to find out how you can be of help to the lady being, or the woman in media being bullied. I think it helps because ni yeye tu atajua nini anataka.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So thank you so much for being on the show. And also my advice, now that you've gone through it, some of the things I would encourage you to tell your fellow female journalists, especially you people who are voices online, who are in front of the screen, who the public believes they own. They own you.
Yes.
They, everything that you do is about the public. Some of the things I would say is acknowledge your feelings and seek support.
Yeah.
I would say also document the abuse is very, very critical to document, because we don't have enough data to support what we are talking about here. And we don't want to be talking about the same issue 5 years from now. Also reporting the abuse to this platform, they've put reporting mechanism. People should be able to report the abuse. And sometimes I hear somebody saying, when I report, what will they do? Please just do your part. Let it be on their own on the other side. And also use privacy settings, as we keep saying. You block users, you mute them. That's why those features are there.
Funny.
Block, mute,
Funny enough, I
unfollow.
don't block. I don't block because I want you to see me thriving.
And also, we had a lawyer the other day, and we were talking about legal option, which there are several things that needs to be cleared so that the legal process can be easy. But we also encourage to seek legal options, and then strengthen your digital security. Make sure you have strong password. You're using two-factor authentication. And sometimes someone like you, it's important to have a private page and a public page, because sometimes when you mix issues, people, the public has this way of feeling like because we are here to listen to you.
Yeah.
We own you. No, they don't. They
They
don't. You're
don't.
just doing your job and you are on your own.
Yes.
And then build a support network. It's very, very key. We need an online army which can be able to support women who are going through online violence.
Powerful.
So thank you so much for being here. And everything I've talked about today is on Policy website. Please visit their website. They have amazing resources, and there's so much to learn on that website. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And asante sana. Thank you for making the time to be here. We don't take it for granted. I'm filled with so much gratitude for your presence here.
You know, hata nimekaa up on the interviewer side, interviewee.
The shoes on the other side.
You know, I'm like, yeah, is this how my interviewees feel? Oh my goodness.
And I feel so good. I'm like, yeah, no, it's good.
I'm
on the
on the hot seat.
Yes, you're
oh
on the
my
hot
God,
seat.
this is the first.
Oh, there's always, and maybe it will be a first to many. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much and see you on the next episode.